Lynne and Victor asked me to introduce them because I was with Victor, not the semester he met Lynne, not the class he was in, but I was with them the moment he met Lynne. So kind of a special occasion for, we talk about it quite a bit over the years, and it was a neat moment. But that was 41 years ago. 41 years is a long time for a partnership, marriage, business. It's a lot of perseverance, it's a lot of love. Now I'm not going to sit here, and it's a little bit warm, and regale you with a wonderful, heartwarming love story of Lynne and Victor Brick. But I will tell you something that a minister shared with me a little while ago about what is love. Well, framed in just a perfect, simple way. If you take your dog and you put it in the trunk of a car and you lock the trunk, then you take your wife or your significant other and you lock her in the trunk of another car. Well, you go to the gym, you go to the movies, you go to the library, you spend about 2-3 hours, you come back, you unlock both trunks at the same time, you'll find out what unconditional love is. That dog is going to be jumping up and down on you, licking you, wagging you, kissing you. The wife, not so much. Well, 41
His
years
wife's
ago,
not here.
41 years ago, Victor and I were in this building on a Friday afternoon, a beautiful day just like this. We were the only two people in there. Everybody else was in the Tiger's Lair. Some of you guys I know spent some time in the Tiger's Lair. It was the on-campus pub, and if you had $2 in your pocket, you could have a pretty happy night. Well, everybody's there but Victor and I. Now, Victor's a basketball and a track guy. I was a football guy. And we're diligently working out like knuckleheads on a Friday night. Now, we're in a weight room that is now, I think, room 106. You could fit probably 85 of those weight rooms into a brick body facility these days. It had a bench, it had a squat rack, it had some dumbbells. There wasn't much to it. So anyhow, Victor and I are lifting, and we get done working out, and we always had a habit of working on our cardio afterwards. We would go down to what was the dance room, and we would jump rope. I'm not sure if we went there because we really liked to jump rope, or there was a big wall of mirrors that we could just look at ourselves for 15 minutes while we were working out. So all of a sudden, this lovely co-ed happens to be the third person in the building, and we don't, all of a sudden she walks by, very cute gal, very well endowed. We're watching her work out. She's on the dance team. She's in her little outfit, and very flexible too. So Victor looks at me and he says, "Man, I mean, he is love-struck, he's dumbstruck, all at the same time." He says, "I would love to go out with that girl." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, sport, you probably need to go over and talk to her because I doubt she's going to come over here and ask you to go to the movies." He says, yeah. Now, if you know Victor, or if you've seen his ads, you know he's not shy. And Victor could talk the green off of grass. Right? He's got nothing, zilch. I mean, he looks at me, he's like, Jimmy, what did I say? I said, "Victor, relax." I said, "Go over and introduce yourself." I said, "And then just, you're a smart guy, tell her something interesting, start a conversation, ask her to go out Friday night." He's like, yeah, good idea. So he goes sauntering over and he says, "Hi, I'm Victor Brick. I went to Springbrook High School." Like, that was a big deal for somebody. Okay? Lynne says, "Well, I'm Lynne Grandy. I went to Delaney High School." And then it stops. It's like, oh no, come on, Victor, come up with something. So here's what he comes up with. He says, "Did you know that if it wasn't for George Patton and the Third Army, that the Allied forces might have lost the Battle of the Bulge?" And I'm like, "Victor," I said, "Victor, get over here. We got another set. I said, "What the hell are you doing?" He said, "You said tell her something interesting." I said, "Interesting to her, not to you." I said, "Where are we?" He says, "Vertical." I said, "Come on, man, connect the dots. Come up with something that she can relate to." He says, I got it. So he goes wandering over and he says, "Sorry, Jimmy needed my help jumping rope, so I didn't mean to interrupt." So he says, "Did you know that if you run the 1-2-2 trap and you can force the ball carrier to his offhand, you got a 43.6% better chance of creating a turnover?" I'm like, "Victor, get over here. We got another shot." I said, "Dude," he said, "I love basketball." I said, "I know you do, but all right, where are we?" He said, "Vertical." I said, "No, where are we specifically?" He said, we're in the jump rope room. I said, no, what is it? It's the dance room. Well, the light bulb goes on. Now, I've told Victor this many times. If he hadn't gotten this one right, the Brick Bodies empire today, had I not had a girlfriend at the time, would be known as the Lynne and Jim Sandusky Polish Fitness Emporium. This is easy. I'm just telling the story. Victor rebounds. He saunters over. He looks at her and he says, "Oh, you're on the dance team, huh?" He says, "You know, I was really thinking about joining the dance team." Well, at that time, I did the Ali shuffle out the room, and I'm not sure what he said next, but it obviously worked. So, Victor and Lynne, come up here a second, please.
I'm afraid.
I want to congratulate you guys on a wonderful partnership in business, more importantly in marriage, also in friendship, myself, so many people here, your family. It's been a wonderful, wonderful run. Your generosity, not only Towson, but many organizations, many foundations, a lot of groups, they've been very, very generous over the year, and I'm very proud to have them as my friend. I'm glad I was in the room with Victor that day so that the Brick Bodies empire could happen. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
My dear friends, Lynne and Victor Brooks.
Well, how can you follow that? Really, great job, Jimmy, telling the story. But what he was actually doing was skipping rope so well. I said, "Man, you skip rope well." He said, "I'm working on my footwork." "Well, why are you working on your footwork?" "Because I'm going to go out for the dance company." I said, "I'm in the dance company." He said, "No kidding." So now that I have a captive audience, and now that you know that I'm an exercise person, I'm going to make you exercise. So go ahead. You ready, Josh? You're going to uncross your legs. Everyone together now. Sit up as tall as you can. If you're standing in the back, you can stand as tall as you can. Now you get to connect the dots between your belly button and your spine. Tuck that little tailbone under. Tuck your shoulders up to your earlobes and place them back and down in your back hip pocket. And rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those shoulders rolling. Do it a couple more times. And did you know by doing this simple exercise, you can increase oxygen to your brain by 30%? Wow! Wow! That's amazing how small exercise can make a big impact in your life, which is awesome. So, yes, I'm going to make you do a couple more exercises. One-arm push-ups. Are you ready? You know I can. All right. No, it's this kind of one-arm push-up. All right. How many of you are former faculty that were here when Victor and I were in college here at Towson State University? Well, let's give him a big round of applause. Yay! How many of you are current Towson University faculty and professors? Yeah, oh wow. Some of the same hands went up. How many of you are Towson alumni? Whoa, a lot of people. Diane, yay! My grooming.
How many Springbrook alumni?
Yeah, I rest my case.
How many Delaney alumni? Oh, there's more. We went, no, I'm teasing. Well, it's awesome that we can really celebrate the day and the ceremony. Thank you so much, all of you, our honorable and distinguished guests. Thank you, Mike Cather and Dr. Charlotte Exner, former Dean of the School of Health Sciences, for helping to coordinate this amazing event today. And we're honored that this dedication ceremony helps to kick off Towson University's 150th anniversary. What a cool thing is that? You won't believe how Burdick Hall has changed. And not just Burdick Hall, but the rest of this university. So for those of you who are coming back to visit Towson University for the first time, maybe perhaps in a long time, you won't believe how this place has changed. So we are so excited and so anxious for us to get in there and take a little tour to really show you the room in which we first met, because it has completely changed. It was June 1978 when I graduated from Towson University's nursing school. Yes, right. Remember Roberta Schwartz? Our nursing uniforms hung right across Towson Town Boulevard, right over there. And then the next week, we both started our first job at Shock Trauma as a nurse. And then, can you believe it, the following week, if that wasn't enough shock, I married Victor Brick. But we want to personally thank Towson University and the amazing professors for their wisdom and guidance. The inspirational educational opportunities here at TU helped to build a strong foundation for our personal and professional development. We are eternally grateful, eternally grateful. Ever since I was a child, I had an innate desire to help other people. In first grade, I had my first exam torn up because I helped my neighbor girlfriend answer one of her questions. I was appalled. I was just helping her. But hence, that's the reason why I changed my major from medical technology to nursing. I always had this innate desire to help other people. So as a nursing major and a member of the dance company, I discovered my passion to blend movement with medicine. And this helped us to evolve our career, my career as an owner and founder, along with my husband, Victor Brick, of Brick Bodies, Lynne Bricks, Women's Health and Fitness, as well as our amazing Planet Fitness health clubs. By the way, this year we're celebrating our 30th anniversary for helping to build Brick Bodies. Yeah! One of our core values as a company is service. Service to each other, service to others, as well as service to the community. And giving back and being inextricably woven through the fabric of the community has always been our mantra. It's an honor for us to give back to Towson University's kinesiology department. It's kind of fitting, isn't it? So that our ideals and passion can live on through student and faculty education and research to help create more awareness of the healing powers of movement and medicine. I'm just so honored to be able to say that. It was like my dream when we first started our business in that window of opportunity many, many years ago. 1982 is when we first started our aerobic only business. And then in 1985 is when we opened our first club. So it's just, I have to pinch myself every now and then. It's just an amazing ride we've been on, but we couldn't do it alone. Special thanks to our family, especially my mom and my dad, Tony and Cecilia Grandi, who are here. As well as my sisters and their husbands, Lisa and Gary Michael. You can raise your hands, please. Raise your hands, raise your hands. Who are also Towson University alumni. Yeah. Special thanks to our daughter, Vicki Brick, the CEO of Brick Bodies. And our son, John Brick, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. He lives in San Francisco. But finally, thanks to our many friends, partners, associates, alumni, fellow alumni and faculty who have traveled, especially to celebrate this day. But thank you, each and every one of you, for all of your love and support, and most importantly, for believing what we believe, which has allowed us the opportunity now to give back to Towson University. So on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Victor.
Can I speak now?
1 minute.
First, you guys haven't cashed that check yet, have you? I mean, how much? And I'm not sure what a philanthropist is, but if there's anything wrong, I didn't do it. I wasn't there. I promise you it wasn't me. I have a prepared speech, but there's a couple of people, we're talking about a lot of firsts here. And I always bring this out because the first boy Lynne ever kissed, who did go to Laney, and as a Towson grad, is in the audience in the front row. Raise your hand, Rodney. And the first professor, who Lynne and I took your class, remember Richard Vatz? We took her class, we could be together in class. We would argue all the time. I was always right, of course. So we have a lot of firsts here. It's just so great to see all our friends and family and former mentors. And like I said at our wedding, which many of you attended, I suppose you're wondering why I've asked you all here today. But I would like to take this time to recognize our partners in Brick Bodies and Planet Fitness, without whose help this day would not be possible. And I'd like to start with our COO of Brick Bodies. Chuck, raise your hand if you would, Chuck. Our CFO, Glenn Norris. Glenn, don't worry, the money's in the bank. Our COO of Planet Fitness is not here, Jerry Woods. Our partner, Terry Woods, who is a Towson grad, is here. Our partner in Planet Fitness, Earl Isle, and his wife are here. Chris. And of course, the new CEO of Brick Bodies, Vicki Brick, our daughter. And as Lynn said, our son John's now in California. You know, I think I hold the record for serving in the most capacities here at Towson. I was an undergrad, I was a grad student, I was a graduate assistant, I was an athlete. I ran track right in that field there where they used to have the track. I was a coach, I coached basketball, and I actually taught here. I taught marketing class in sports marketing class. I owe a lot to Towson. I lived in the dorm right behind you, that high-rise dorm. I attended classes here in Burdick Hall. I met my wife here in Burdick Hall, and my whole life was changed forever. As Lynn said, we'll be married 37 years come this June, and I can honestly say it's 3 of the best years of my life. Now, Jimmy was with me the day that I met Lynn, and that was a very interesting recollection. Surprisingly, it wasn't too far off. I mean, there was a lot of this going on. But the guy that was with me the first time I ever saw Lynn is right here. Raise your hand, Dave. Is Dave Schwartz. We're playing give Dave a hand. We're playing basketball in court number 2 right in here, and Lynn comes walking through in her leotards and tights. And I stop, the ball hits me in the head, you know, and somebody whistles, and she turns and looks and waves.
Yeah, it was to the whole group of people.
And I think she's waving right at me. And I turned to Dave, and what did I tell you, Dave?
I'm gonna marry that girl.
I said, see that girl? I'm going to marry her. And daggone if I didn't. I want to thank all of our friends and family for coming, many of whom went here to Towson with us. I especially want to thank Lynn's parents for allowing me to marry Lynn. You know what they say, behind every successful man stands a surprised mother-in-law. She takes that very good nature. I would also like to thank Ruth Kennard, who believed in me before I believed in myself. I was taking her kinesiology class here. Gary, did you ever take kinesiology with Ruth Kennard? It was tough, wasn't it? And like all of us, I was skating through that class. As a matter of fact, I was skating through all of our classes. And she pulled me aside and she challenged me. And she said, you're better than this. You've got to put more effort into what you're doing. She basically told me, you've got to give everything you've got to everything you do. Give everything you've got to everything you do. And I'll never forget it. She said to me, I want to see your name in lights. And if any of you have driven by our clubs, you will know that it has come true. Now, granted, it's really my wife's name in lights, but I got the last name in there, so technically my name is in lights. And I can tell you, it has not been easy being Mr. Lynn Brick for 37 years. It is not easy at all. I will tell you that I never imagined this as an undergraduate. I was just going to be a PE teacher and a coach. Lynn was going to be a nurse. But God had other plans, and here we are. And we've been blessed beyond our wildest imaginations. And now we think that it's time to give back. And in doing that, along with our other philanthropic and charitable efforts, we've started the John W. Brick Mental Health Foundation, which is dedicated to bringing awareness to the benefits of physical fitness and a healthy lifestyle and how it improves mental health. It was named after my brother John, who suffered from schizophrenia his entire life and passed from complications from the disease at 62. That's the age that I am now, 62. I want to leave you with one final thought. As Machiavelli said in The Prince, ultimately you will be judged by what you give back to society. Ultimately, you will be judged by what you give back to society. I hope that all of you are judged well. Again, thank you for coming, and God bless you all.